Kurama's not actually dead. And before you come at me and say,
"Oh, he's in denial. Well, clearly he can't let the nine-tailed fox go."
How about you sit back, relax, and listen to a couple of the points I've made for you, okay? But before we get into anything too serious, make sure you go ahead and like this video, follow, and hit that noti bell, because I drop 3 videos a week, and it's all anime all the time over here, baby. Let's get into it. Before we get into how Kurama's not actually dead, there's got to be a little bit of a backstory here, because for you anime-only watchers, you actually don't know this bit of information already. But in the first manga chapter that Kishimoto receded control of the Boruto manga, chapter 55, he decided to make Kurama do the big sleep. At least, that's what he wants us to believe. Essentially, to break it down in layman's term, Baryon mode is what Naruto activates to fight Jigen or Ishiki in a fight, and that mode is activated by combining Naruto and Kurama's chakra and then ramming them in together. This actually makes a new form of energy that boosts Naruto to an insane new level that's never been seen in the show before. Unfortunately, however, the price of this Baryon mode is Kurama's body. The smashing of these two chakras together slowly degrades Kurama's body, especially if used over long periods of time. So, like I said, in chapter 55 of the Boruto manga, unfortunately, in a literally heartbreaking scene, Kurama slowly evaporates from Naruto's body, leaving just him in Boruto's arms. And for those of you who are currently wiping tears from your eyes for the loss of Kurama, save those tears for a second, because there is a couple of theories that I subscribe to personally that I believe could bring Kurama back to life, maybe better than before. The most obvious of the theories is that we know that Kara is in possession of a new Ten Tails, a baby Ten Tails if you shall. Sasuke confirms this when we go to Kara's hideout with him in order to investigate. The problem is, this is the Ten Tails that Jigen or Ishiki wants to use to create a world tree that he can then pick the fruit off and then eat. Essentially, this is the motivator for all Otsutsuki. They want to use a Ten Tails to create a world tree and then eat its fruit. Doing that gives them infinitely more power. It was the motivation of Kaguya, and it was the motivation of Momoshiki, so Ishiki is no different. Here's the thing though, with Ten Tails, we know that the Ten Tails was split up by Hagoromo in order to create the original nine-tailed beasts, right? So who's to say that hypothetically this Ten Tails couldn't be split up just the same? The real question is, who would split the Ten Tails up? This is obviously in the circumstance that Naruto, Sasuke, and the Hidden Leaf and all the other villages win against Ishiki, which, I mean, let's be real, it's anime. They're probably going to. Is it going to be Hagoromo descending down from the moon and splitting the Ten Tails again into a new individual nine-tailed beasts? Or will it be Naruto? Let's take a couple of things into consideration here. Kurama is gone, which means Naruto is an empty vessel. Who better to become the new Ten Tails Jinchuriki and ascend to 6 Paths level of power than Naruto? There is no one out there with as much chakra or who is as ready as Naruto Uzumaki. If Naruto becomes the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, does Hagoromo cede his position as the Sage of 6 Paths to Naruto? Does Naruto pass up his role as Hokage, giving it on to maybe Sakura or Shikamaru or, God, I hope not, Konohamaru, and go to the moon to look over Kaguya? Or, instead of becoming the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, does he simply himself, given the power by Hagoromo, split the Ten Tails into a new 9-tailed beasts? Would we have, 17-tailed beasts? In this circumstance, yes, and Kurama would be back. Because you are damned if you think that Naruto would be creating new tailed beasts and not stop to create Kurama. Right on back. And listen, that theory has a lot of what ifs. Naruto becoming the Sage of 6 Paths is insane. But if we think about the direction at which Boruto is going, it makes a little bit of sense. Naruto's villains were humans, Zabuza, Pain, Orochimaru, but Boruto's villains have become gods. Momoshiki, Ishiki, Orishiki. These people have come to Earth to destroy it, not the Hidden Leaf, the Earth. So who better to look over said Earth than the main character of the 750 episode Naruto show. And you know what this would accomplish? It would effectively remove Naruto from the storyline, in making sure that Boruto is the poignant and center focus of the show. This is something Kishimoto has been trying to do for a long time. It's why he nerfed Naruto with the death of Kurama. He wants people to realize, sure, Naruto was in this show, but it's about Boruto. The second theory for how Kurama could come back has to deal with Kinkaku and Ginkaku, the Gold and Silver brothers. To do a recap on who the Gold and Silver brothers are, for those who haven't watched Shippuden in a while, they are long distant descendants of Hagoromo. To give a little bit of scale into how insanely powerful Hagoromo's just DNA was, these people are separated by a multitude of generations and are so powerful that they and their squad were able to kill Tobirama, arguably the third strongest Hokage of all time. On top of this, their insane strength allowed them the ability to eat the flesh of Kurama, which imbued them with Kurama's chakra. If they were any weaker, eating the flesh of Kurama would have killed them. It would have exploded their chakra networks, but their strength allowed them to harness that power. And what do we know about tailed beasts? They are simply the physical embodiment of chakra. If the Jinchuriki dies, their chakra will dissipate and reappear somewhere else, aspirating them essentially out of thin air. So, there is two people out there with Kurama's chakra who could essentially be the catalyst for Kurama's rebirth. The problem lies in where are they? Where are the Gold and Silver brothers? They've been dead for a long time, right? They're not dead. They are sealed. The Gold and Silver brothers are sealed inside the Beni Shaga, hilariously displayed inside of 1010's Shinobi Weapons shop. Wanna know a weapon that's also in 1010's shop? The Kokinjo, which is used to pull people in and out of the Beni Shago. So, hypothetically, if Tenten, who can yield both of these weapons, pulled the Gold and Silver brothers out of that Beni Shago, Kurama's chakra would once again exist. So all that is necessary is to revive the Gold and Silver brothers, extract their DNA, and either put it in Naruto or simply allow them to exist, because their DNA will act as a catalyst for the reforming of Kurama's chakra. And I can already hear you saying,
but that's probably not enough chakra to bring Kurama back, right?
And I'll remind you, Kurama has existed with half of his chakra for the entirety of the show. And Kinkachu, when he saw Ginkachu get sealed in the Beni Shago, got so upset he manifested a version 2 six-tailed Kurama cloak. And I don't know about you, but that seems like a shit ton of chakra. And there's 2 of them. So that is absolutely enough chakra to bring back Kurama. My third and personal and also final theory on how to revive Kurama also revolves on bringing back some marginal amount of his chakra in order to act as a catalyst to bring him back to life. Take a look at Naruto. He has 3 whiskers on each side of his face. No one else in the show has whiskers. That's because no one else was the child of a pregnant Jinchuriki. And you'd say,
well, Kinkaku and Ginkaku also had whiskers, didn't they?
And you'd be right, they did. They had 3 each. But they also ate the flesh of Kurama and had to take his power into their body. And the only way to do that would be to merge with Kurama on a cellular and genetic level, which is exactly what Naruto did while in the womb, with Kurama right next to him. So you could say that Naruto has Kurama's genetics spliced into his own. You wouldn't be wrong. And you want to know why I think you wouldn't be wrong? Because look at Boruto and Himawari. Both of them have whiskers. But oddly enough, they don't have 3 to each side. No, they only have 2. Almost like they're one generation separated from the Naruto-Kurama splicing moment. Maybe Boruto's child will have 1 whisker. But what this means for us is that Kurama exists in the DNA of both Boruto and Himawari. And who's to say they don't have some of his chakra resting in that genetic code? Sure, maybe it's all gone from Naruto, but Boruto and Himawari didn't use Baryon mode. But who knows? I could be completely wrong and Kurama could be dead forever. Here's the holding on, and I hope these 3 theories help you get through that punishing death. If I've convinced you of any of these 3 insane theories, go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't already. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that noti button. And if you're feeling extra frisky, go ahead and follow me on the rest of my socials. I'm a Twitch streamer, I'm a TikToker, and now I'm becoming a YouTuber. I'm happy you guys stayed till the end. And hey, we can hope, right?